Good morning, students. Welcome to our English class. So today's date is 3rd of May and the day is Monday. Today's topic is from the My Canvas English Coursebook, Chapter 2, The Champa Flower. It is written by Rabindranath Tagore. So children, here you can see the image of Champa flower. Champa flower looks like this. Rabindranath Tagore. So everyone knows this prolific personality. Rabindranath Tagore was an Indian poet. He was born on 7th of May, which is coming very soon. We are going to celebrate it as Ravindra Jayanti. So on 7th May, he was born in 1861 at Jorashako, Kolkata. His parents' name was Maharshi Debendranath Thakur and mother's name was Sharda Devi. He took his education at home under private teachers for various subjects. Means he didn't like this formal education mode. So he took his education at home. He started writing poems in his very early age. He is still the most famous poet and he wrote thousands of poems, short stories, songs, essays, dramas, etc. Both he and his works are famous all around the world. He became the first Indian who received the Nobel Prize in 1913 for his great writing, named Gitanjali. He was also a philosopher, a painter, and a great patriot who composed our national anthem titled as Jana Gana Mana. So, children, this is about Rabindranath Tagore, and this is the picture of Rabindranath Tagore. So, this was a brushing up of our memory and our homage for Rabindranath Tagore. Nothing is there to say about this prolific poet. He is the greatest poet from Bengal. So, children, here you can see that chapter 2, the Champa Flower. So, here in this poem, we will get to see a little boy who wants to become a champa flower and he wants to see what does his mother do throughout the day, and for he is not going to tell his mother that he has become a champa flower, and he will return to his own identity by the evening. So supposingly I become a champa flower just for fun and grew on a branch high up that tree, and shook in the wind with laughter, and danced upon the newly budded leaves. Would you know me, mother? You would call, Baby, where are you? And I should laugh to myself and keep quiet. I should shyly open my petals and watch you at your work. When after your bath with wet hair spread on your shoulders, you walked through the shadow of the champa tree to the little court where you say your prayers, you would notice the scent of the flower, but not know that it came from me. When after the midday meal you sat at the window reading Ramayana, and the tree's shadow fell over your hair and lap, and I should fling my wee little shadow onto the page of your book, just where you were reading. But would you guess that it was the tiny shadow of your little child? When in the evening you went to the cowshed with the lighted lamp in your hand, I should suddenly drop on to the earth again and be your own baby once more and beg you to tell me a story. Where have you been, you naughty child? I won't tell you, mother. That's what you and I would say then. So, this is the poem Champa Flower. So we have done the recitation. All of you need to learn this poem. Now we will go to the explanation stanza wise. Supposingly, I became a champa flower just for fun and grew on a branch high up that tree. So you can see here, children, a branch is given and a flower has grown over there. So our little poet wants to be this champa flower, and he wants to morph himself, means he is going to change himself into this flower, and he would bloom in that little branch and shook in the wind with laughter. And when he will laugh, he will shake himself in the branch and danced upon the newly budded leaves. So he will enjoy being a flower by smiling and laughing and dancing with the leaves. Would you know me, mother? So will the little boy is asking his mother that will the mother be able to recognize the little poet? You would call, "Baby, where are you?" And I should laugh to myself and keep quite quiet. So the child is telling that he won't reveal his identity. Even after his mother searches him and calls for him, he won't respond. Instead, he will keep very quiet and hide himself like the flower, in being the flower. And he would shyly open the petals and watch his mother working throughout the day. So being the flower, he will keep a watch on his mother, and will see what works does the mother do throughout the day. So this poem shows the bonding between the little child and his mother. The immense love which a child has for the mother is shown by this poem by the poet. This is being portrayed. So when after your bath, so the child is telling in the next stanza that when the mother takes her bath and she comes out with her wet hair falling on her shoulder, and she will walk through the shadow of the champa tree, means the champa tree used to grow in their courtyard, and the mother uh, in order to cross the courtyard, she needed to go under the champa tree. So she needed to walk through the shadows of the champa tree to the little court where you say your prayers. So in the morning, early morning, she will go to tell her prayers, and for that she needed to cross the champa tree. So there she will have the smell of this lovely flowers, the scent, the perfume which the flower spreads, the scent of the flower. She will be smelling it, she will be sensing it without knowing that it came from her little child. All right. So this flower will give out a particular kind of fresh, refreshing smell, which the mother will sense without knowing that it is coming from his dear boy, but not know that it came from me. When after the midday meal, you sat at the window reading Ramayana. So the boy is telling that after the lunch or after the midday meal, the mother is going to sit beside the window and read the Ramayana. That time, what he is going to do? That time, the tree's shadow will fall on her, and uh, I should fling my wee little shadow onto the page of your book. So, what will happen? He will, um, his shadow of being the flower will fall onto the book which the mother was reading, the Ramayana, just where you were reading. But would you guess that it was the tiny shadow of your little child? So the boy is asking very playfully that even if the shadow of the boy falls on the book, will the mother be able to understand that it is his own child's shadow? So these are the playful questions in a playful mood being asked by the child to his mother. Maybe the mother has recognized previously the boy has experienced that the mother has recognized him by his shadow and everything she knows about his little boy. Now the little boy wants to play hide and seek with his mother, and he wants to get morphed into a flower and would play with his mother, and will ask these playful questions to her. When in the evening you went to the cowshed means where the cows are kept in every domestic houses. Previously, they used to have the cows as domestic animals. And so, in the evening, when you went to the cowshed with the lighted lamp in your hand, I should certainly drop on the earth again. So, during the evening, when the mother will go with the earthen lamp into the cowshed, the little boy will fall down from the branch of the tree and he will change himself into his own real little boy image. Okay, he will bring back himself to life again from being a flower and be your own baby once more. And so, what will happen? He will become his own baby. I want to tell you, mother, where have you been? You naughty child, I won't tell you, mother. That's what you and I would say then. So the little boy is telling that even after repeatedly asking the boy the question that where he have been throughout the day, he won't reply to his mother and be silent regarding his changing of being into a flower. So we have come to the end of the poem, children. So I hope you have understood the poem where Rabindranath Tagore writes a lovely poem regarding a little boy who wants to turn himself into a flower and keep a watch on his mother about her daily routine, whatever things she does, and by the evening he will again return to his being and he will go back to his mother. So this is the poem, children. You need to write it down in your copies and write down the full poem in the copies, and you are going to do this. Write down the new words also. All right. Now let's move on to the next page. So here you have to mark the true and false statements. The speaker wants to become a hibiscus. Is it true? No, it is not true. It is false. When his mother calls out to him, the speaker wants to keep quiet. So it is true. His mother walks to the court to say her prayers after breakfast. So it is what? False. The speaker's mother reads the Ramayana after dinner. This is also a false statement. In the evening, the speaker's mother goes to the cowshed. This is true. So write this true and false in your books. Now coming into the vocabulary section, B1, tick the correct synonyms of the words given below. So the first word is earth. It will be what? So the matching thing is synonym is Mars. Next is what? Beg. Beg means what? Request. And third is notice. Notice means to see. So children, I hope that you have understood today's lesson. So this much for today. Thank you all of you and have a good day ahead.